Yeah, how's it going? Today is 26th of July, Friday, and we're taking a look at the market, what kind of opportunities we can find. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a number of different press releases. I think that we're going to be taking a look at standards and all what should be. I think that's perhaps even the best place to start this. There's a company called Competition and or Market Authority. So when regulating markets and making sure that all the markets are reflected and so there's authority, set up authority making sure that everything should be, everyone should be treated, all the markets and everything is, should be competitive, right? But there aren't, and so I guess it's where things are as of now. Even in today's video, we're gonna be taking a look at what some of those markets, including fuel markets, but the real problem, I would say, what should be at the core front of what UK should focus on, that would be digital space when it comes to competitive markets and the UK's capabilities addressing some of those issues. In particular, where future is gonna be. As of now, I don't think UK has a strong of the digital market, right? But either way, let's begin by taking a look at CMI, that's really Competition and Markets Authority, and they are looking to address drivers still paying too much for road fuels. So they shouldn't pay that much, right? And prices should go down based on supply currently in the market, right? But the businesses are keeping it the same or perhaps even increasing prices for fuel, right? So let's take a look at this report. It might be of interest, but I've been taking a look at this previously, and I think we have replaced some of the people within competitive annual market authority. Since we replaced people, new people would try addressing this issue again, which is kind of interesting. We should, and we have the if we have if we're doing the job properly, if we have necessary resources to address this problem. But instead of perhaps taking a look at digital space, let's take a look at how new people are going to be taking a look at addressing fuel prices, right? That would be a good representation of UK trying to address digital space while taking a look at fuels, right? Entire problem that we are taking a look at just for 2023, that would be 1.6 billion pounds, right? Billion. So that's the size of the problem that we're taking a look at, and good people at Competition and Market Authority are looking to address this problem. It's very hard to address. It's a very expensive problem, and we're looking to address it. So it's kind of I don't know. We keep trying. I guess it's even new people now, and we again trying to address it, right? But it's not the only problem. As I mentioned, digital space is. Perhaps even bigger of the problem, but either way, let's begin by taking a look at fuel prices, right? That's a published update today in the widespread action in taking to ensure that people can get the best possible choice and prices in the face of ongoing cost of living pressures. New analysis highlight how the cost of drives of weakening competition in the fuel sector persists, but competition in grocery sector appears to be more effective in bearing down the retail margins, right? What they mean by that, right? So fuel prices. So for many of your groceries, to be delivered to grocery stores, sometimes cost of fuel price sometimes can add up to, depending of what country you are in, sometimes even 40% of cost of groceries in stores can be fuel prices, right? So this is how fragile the entire sector can be, depending on, well, not necessarily perhaps even within UK. Perhaps within UK there might be a different structures, right? And I don't know if they're still paying with dollars, so perhaps inflation, conversion rate, all these kind of things, and all these administration would costs would add up to how much people would pay for groceries. But if anything, that's perhaps important to mention. But if we can, we need to stick to influx in the market for currently in the market so much fuel is available, and we're keeping the prices the same even if not raising prices for fuel. So that's a real issue. let's do not let's do not mix what we are looking to address here. Road fuel. Okay, okay. But sometimes people and or some of the businesses can buy in bulk, right? So perhaps then they're buying in bulk or a large quantities of fuel. Perhaps they can get a better price. I don't know why we need to define it as a road fuel. In the third interim monitoring update, CMA has found that retail fuel margins, the difference between what retailers pay for its fuel and what it sell at, are still significantly above historical levels. Here we go. Because supply in the market is massive and we're keeping the prices the same, meaning the price should go down. If anything, we're going to be keeping it the same or even lifting sometimes higher, right? And that will be the next point. Supermarkets, fuel margins are roughly doubled what they were in 2019. So we double it. The margins is how much businesses are pocketing, right? So if it was 20%, now we're pocketing 40%. Someone is making a lot of money. The total cost to all drivers from increase in retail fuels margins since 2019 was over 1.6 billion in 2023 alone. So the massive amounts of sums. Competition among fuel retailers is failing consumers, just as it was in July last year when CMA published its road fuel market study, which we had the review, and they were taking a look at and perhaps improving competition. And at the time, I think it was completely different people, and they were looking to improve competition, not necessarily talk to businesses, but they were looking to creating different platforms and or how we can make market more competitive by advertising on those platforms about all the prices. So this is the solution that they were proposing, not to perhaps limit on the cap rate. So we increase cap rate, double it. So this is a different ways to address this problem. Then CMI published the Road Fuel Market Study Report. It recommended that the smart data-driven fuel finder scheme be set up to make prices available for to monitor motorists across UK in real time, such as throughout the map apps and set naps. This will be backed up with ongoing monitoring by CMI to hold the sector to account. Well, they're wasting everyone's time. So compared to market authority, where set up a system, an app, which is a waste of time. There is a lot of incentives for people and governments who are selling a lot of fuel to keep prices at the same rate or increase those prices, right? Actually, some of those initiatives, including OPEC. So since it's something that's been doing, that means that they can address the same problem. So that means they failed consumer, right? So perhaps new people. Let's see what. Okay, we understand what was done. Perhaps these are new people might be able to address it differently. This scheme could save drivers up to 4.5 each, 4.5 each time they will fill up. And it will make it easier to find cheapest fuel in the area. They're a waste of everyone's time, by the way. So that was a plan. And okay, let's see what new people are planning on doing. The CMI is currently monitoring development of the fuel markets using information provided voluntarily by fuel retailers, which we were taking a look at previously. It was about 8 companies or so. It has created a temporary price data sharing scheme, and it's positive that some major players have started integrating this into consumer-facing products like apps. However, the current scheme covers only 40% of fuel retailer sites, and it's not comprehensive enough to utilize by the map apps. So there's a lot of issues already. Proposal: voluntary. So it's not covering voluntary. You can do it, or you not. You don't need to do it. And it covers only 40% as well as million problems. So we're not really addressing a real problem here by mapping apps or sat-navs to bring accurate live information to people, and it is what will help substantial impact of the market. So this is the way how we're looking to address it, right? The proposed introduction of digital information and or smart data bill by the new government will provide the legislation basis to set up a new compulsory and or comprehensive scheme that will change this, which CMI will welcome. Okay. So as of now, they do not have perhaps powers to make any changes. Okay. So perhaps let's give a little bit more credit, I guess. legislation, which is needed to establish a scheme fully, may take time to come into force so that motorists can start to benefit from a quicker, easier access to fuel prices throughout everyday apps sooner. The CMA encouraged government to introduce an enhancement interim voluntary scheme that is close to the final scheme as possible. Okay, so let's do a quick summary and let's move to the next articles, right? Prices double. So how much people and all businesses were making previously make the margin, quote unquote margin. So if they were making 20%, now they're making 40% of every liter of fuel that's been sold. We're making double. So this is what's happening. And potential solutions by CMI. It's voluntary, and they're looking to speak with one person, another person, and perhaps making some changes in the future. Okay, let's progress to the next article. Let's take a look at the next press release. After the UK joins groundbreaking global digital trade agreement. After the UK joins first global trade agreement negotiated under a World Trade Organization. Okay, so that potentially be overseeing organization. Let's try to understand it since we were taking a look at CMI and then it comes to trade, selling services, and how potentially that will be a part of the process of how to sell services overseas by UK, and if UK would have this capability. I think that this capability should be way more important than it is right now, right? And some of the bullet points after the UK and 90 other countries have negotiated a set of new rules designed to make global trade faster, fairer, cheaper, and more secure. Okay. I don't know about any of that, but I think there's a lot of issues with other governments and what other governments are doing, including some of those governments coming together and moving away from some of the systems that UK is part of, and it's not something that's been highlighted, I believe, within this article, right? I'm referring to BRICS and BRICS countries and how they're developing their own systems, right? And as of now, it doesn't seem very encouraging the way how UK is looking to offer their services on the global market, right? Once enforced, the agreement will permanently ban custom duties on digital content, lower costs for UK businesses, and help protect UK consumers from online fraud. Perhaps this part is a little bit more encouraging, as well as global adaptation of digital customs system, processes, and documents could significantly grow UK's economy. Okay, at least they're recognizing that there's an issue and there's a need of addressing this issue. UK has to date, Friday, today's date, 26th of July, joined groundbreaking agreement which is designed to grow the economy and boosting global digital trade. Okay. Again, I don't think, but let's see. Let's give a chance, and we can reflect on some of those agreements later. After 5 years of negotiations, in UK and 90 other countries have finalized e-commerce joint initiative at the World Trade Organization, which will make trade faster, cheaper, fairer, and more secure. I don't know about, again, I'm not supporting any of those initiatives. I'm looking to understand it, right? As well as when they take a look at finances and financial transactions, again, there's a lot of issues there. And they're taking a look at security. I don't think UK have any of its own products, by the way, and or systems as of now. I think they're going to be taking a look at and all partnering with other organizations to address all these issues. If UK do not have their own and they're looking to partner with, so how are they going to be talking for those people? So just take a look at what happened recently with some of those Microsoft systems, right? Where entire system went down, airports, hospitals, everything went down. So this is what UK is going to be doing, partnering up with some of those partners, not necessarily building their own systems. So we're wasting time here then, I would say. It will help British businesses, workers, and consumers seize the opportunities of global digital trade, which estimated of OECD to worth around 4 trillion and growing. So this is a market, and the UK is not building their own products or systems within this market. This is not something that UK is doing, and CMI should be looking to address this issue. And as of now, we can't even address fuel prices. And that market size for 1 year was 1.6 billion, right? And they cannot address it. So market size of 4 trillion, and then now we need to expect CMI to address this market, right? But either way, once implemented, the agreement will commit all applicants to the digital and all customs documents and all processes. This will, in many cases, and the need to print forms off and hand them over to customs, a slow, expensive, and old-fashioned way of working. I don't know. Since what Europe is doing, then taking a look at this particular area, Europe is looking for digital IDs. They're not talking about digital IDs at this point. There's a different issue where UK is not rushing into digital IDs, right? And Europe is doing it right now, where it comes to that you need to your digital footprint and what you're doing online, and then so there's a lot of issues when it comes to personal data and how it's constantly being leaked and all breaking into. So there's a lot of issues there, right? They're not talking about these issues at this point. This signatories of the agreement will also commit to recognize the documents and all e-signatures, reducing the need for businesses to physically sign documents or post them around the world. Global adoption of digital custom systems, process and documents will increase UK's GDP by up to 24.4 billion in 2023. UK GDP terms, even partial adoption could represent a significant boost for UK's GDP. I would highly encourage UK to build their own systems, right? Once that's been said, let's progress to the next article. Let's stick with digital space for some time, since that might be of importance. That will be some press releases. Over 100 million pounds to boost quantum hubs to develop life-saving blood tests and resilient security systems. I don't know about blood, and I have taken a look at this market, but security systems that will be very important in just because how many attacks currently happening and how many of the systems are going down. So I would rather focus on security systems opposed to blood tests. I don't know if any of those projects who are testing those bloods, all these kind of things, a matter of seconds. If any of those projects are successful as of now, perhaps there might be a market for it. I don't get it. 5 new quantum research hubs backed by 100 million pounds of government funding will deliver a breakthrough in healthcare, cybersecurity, and transport. I will rather stick with only 2 topics: cybersecurity and transport. Let's try to understand it. 5 new hubs to develop practical use of quantum technology in areas like medical scanners, secure communication networks, and next generation positioning systems. Okay, the hub will be based across UK in Glasgow, Edinburgh, Birmingham, Oxford, and London. Okay, there's nothing in Southwest. To ensure the whole of the UK benefits from these technologies, again, there's nothing in Southwest, but either way, let's progress. Researchers and our businesses will work together to develop this quantum technology, supporting by a total of 100 million pounds, which will support delivery of the government's mission to rebuild Britain. Entire sector will be important. I would understand the 2 parts are not necessarily anything what has to do with people's health and all the blood and all this testing. Perhaps this issue should be important, but I don't know, the entire sector and perhaps what we're looking at right now is historical data and some of the projects being launched. That will be 5 projects. I would highly encourage to launch 10 projects. And if there are contact information, I don't think there is any. Of course, there isn't. So perhaps they should launch 10 projects, as well as if they're looking to address some of those areas that will be positioning systems and or communication networks. Also, myself and all other businesses are interested in at least those 2 parts, right? So I would like to encourage who is ever writing these articles to leave contact information and process of how to engage with the government, launching an additional 5 projects, right? Let's close on that. Let's progress to the next article. Briefly, we can take a look at this opportunity, perhaps Saturday, for some of the groups of individuals, Saturday young aviators, encouraged to reach for skies and skills and outreach programs. Pursuing, I would have my own understanding that really pursuing qualifications in places like engineering, but again, always take a look at some of those companies up there, Boeing, for example, right? And they only increase salaries for aviation engineers by 1% in the last 15 years, just 1%. So again, once that been said, so that's where the market prices are. But this particular article, the way how it's been structured, that would be giving young people from underrepresented groups the opportunity to pursue careers in aviation, right? When they take a look at underrepresented, right, even the king within UK has a quota where they need to improve or change the way of service staff. I think that's the definition, where it would need to go up to 15%. It might be about 10 right now, and they're looking to increase some of those underrepresented groups up to 15%, right? As well as there might be something with regards to aviation, so giving equal opportunities. So if there was a problem, perhaps they're looking to address this particular problem, right? Pay and how much people would be looking to earn than pursuing something that might be very challenging and or interesting careers. There's a different story, right? Since the pay is completely different. There's a lot of opportunities within the aviation market and perhaps for business leaders, not necessarily for young people. They would get paid bare minimum. I hope not, but this is perhaps where things going to be, right? So I'll touch on it, and let's progress to the next article. Last article, and let's close today's video on this particular article. There's other articles, but there's a lot of issues, right, that government is looking to address. Let's focus on this particular one, last one, and let's close the video on that. That will be press release. It's AI expert to lead action plan to ensure UK reaps the benefits of artificial intelligence. Again, we're taking a look at digital space, and at the forefront should be CMI and making digital space more competitive market for UK's businesses. If you're interested in launching business in digital space, some of those areas perhaps is something that CMI knows of, but not necessarily are capable of making any changes, right? Then any business or entrepreneur looking to introduce its project to the market will be a lot easier, opposed to where things are as of now within the UK's industry launching any projects, right? That will be UK's Science Secretary, that is named there, has a commission and action plan to define how AI can drive economic growth. So by addressing perhaps challenges in the markets and I've been highlighting, right? And we can take a look at some of the bullet points and entire article. UK Science Secretary commissioned action plan to identify how artificial intelligence can drive economic growth and deliver better outcomes for people across the country. So that would be how good of investment. So every pound, I would say, I would have to encourage this action plan to take a look at investment. So for every pound invested, how much it would be able to yield in the return for a lot of businesses within the UK, right? As well as controlling the market. And as of now, not necessarily there is very competitive, just a handful of companies who has a hold of the market, right? And I don't think there are any projects within UK. There might be in France, there might be in places like Canada, US, all these kind of places, China, all other governments, right? Not necessarily within UK. Tech entrepreneurs, there's a name there, charged with leading work to explore untapped AI opportunities, right? It might be a waste of time if that's a perspective of the person and this person have written an article, and that might be a waste of everyone's time. I'm looking to understand government's perspective. I'm not looking to understand this person's perspective. Officials from the new AI opportunities unit At the heart of science and our technology department, you pool expertise, sees the benefits of AI, and implement proposals, right? So first thing, I will take a look at if there is a contact information. I don't think that there isn't any contact information. So if this person is looking to make a statement, I can't wait to read this statement. So if I could offer feedback with regards to the statement, then would be great. So if this person is actually looking to solve this problem, so perhaps if I would read the entire article, it would be a waste of everyone's time. I would need to reach out to this person and arrange a conference call. I can sit down and explain some of the issues that there are within the industry, and then we can progress. Other than that, this person is looking to share his opinion, which is, I guess, would be a waste of everyone's time. Let's progress. Thanks for watching. See you next one.